Hey everybody, Stinger here with a special message, a special thank you to the best Italian wrestling podcast. That's right, the best Italian wrestling podcast called Pro Wrestling Culture. Specifically, thank you to Aldo Fiadoni. All right, Aldo, awesome job, man. I guess you and I met in New York in 2019. And there were some tears shed there. Man, I love that. I love that. You know what? Real men can cry, bro. Let me tell you something. Man, means a lot that you watch. Means a lot that this podcast is happening and the pro wrestling culture appreciates Aldo Fiadoni. So be watching there. It's going to be showtime. And tune in to the podcast, Pro Wrestling Culture, because it's always showtime there from the Stinger.
Questo programma non è soggetto a infezioni. It's showtime.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in a new brand episode of Pro Wrestling Culture, a podcast available on World Wrestling, Open Wrestling TV, and Radio Libera Tutti. I am the real Messiah, Aldo Fiadone, and with me, the Professor, Matteo Pagliarella. Hi, Prof.
Hi, Messiah, and welcome to our very, very good and perfect guest for this interview.
The world famous Cheeseburger. Hi, man.
Oh, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
We're fine.
Fine. Thank you. Okay, man. Tell us about your career, your beginnings, and how your character was a success in Ring of Honor.
I started at the ROH Wrestling School when I was 17 in 2010. So I've been doing this about, this will be my 12th year now. So it's been a long journey, a lot of trials and ups and downs, but I'm very happy to have done it. But I started at 17, still in high school, training wrestling. I was going to school during the day, going to wrestling training at night, and just doing that a few times a week, just trying to make it. And I always felt like I was too small to be a wrestler, so I wanted to start training as a manager originally. And then throughout the course of my training, still having to learn wrestling stuff, even for the manager training. I started really liking wrestling and thinking, all right, maybe this is something I can actually do. So I talked to my trainers, and they let me continue my training as a wrestler, and then we just progressed from there. And that led to me getting opportunities in Ring of Honor through the ROH school. That led to me eventually signing a Ring of Honor contract. That led to me going to Japan for a bit. And that led to me just progressing in Ring of Honor and doing really good things on television, pay-per-view, all over the country, different parts of the world. And progressing from that, doing things on the indies as well, and just going to different countries, everything like that. So it's been a crazy journey. And I have a lot of people I can thank for helping me along that way. And then it was very interesting how things turned out. My career has been much more exciting and successful than I ever probably would have imagined as a 17-year-old starting this.
Yes, a very exciting road. And we meet you in 2019 during the Madison Square Garden show. The G1 Supercard. Yes.
Oh, you guys were at the Madison Square Garden show?
Yes,
we were there.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Who inspired you the most inside your road in pro wrestling business, and who pushed you to improve yourself day by day?
Definitely my trainers, Delirious and Daisy Hayes, were my original trainers at the ROH school. And Grizzly Redwood was there as well as the assistant trainer, and the three of them for sure like helped push me along like so much. Just being very good trainers, teaching me the right way, teaching me about respecting wrestling, respecting the business, like not half-assing things, um, putting the most that I can into every single thing, and really getting the most out of everything. And they would push me like throughout the training to be better each week. And then just people who I've had in my friend circle, people like Will Ferrara helped me a lot. Rhett Titus, an ROH original as well, helped me a ton. Also, people back then who were students like a class before me, the Bravado brothers, who one of them now is Andre Chase in NXT. Him and his brother like helped me a lot, like on the road, just like teaching me like what my duties were as a student and how to do those to the fullest, and just keeping me on the right track. And then our friend Bird as well, he helped us a lot. So we had a really good support system at the ROH school, just between the trainers and other students who I became lifelong friends with.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but your last match in Ring of Honor during the old regime was
Mm.
against Delirious.
Yes, correct. Yeah, our
Okay,
final
okay.
original Ring of Honor match, yeah, was with Delirious, which was a very fitting like end, I think, for just with this. He helped bring me into the company and treated me so well, and then I got to end everything. It just kind of happened by accident that was what the last match was, which is cool.
Yes. And in your opinion, what are the difference between the old regime and right now with Tony Khan and the All Elite Wrestling?
Definitely the main change I've noticed is that the new ROH is a lot more organized, like in the backstage capacity. Um, I'm a big fan of being able to go to a building, and then they always have just with AEW and ROH, the times I've been there, they will have like a sign backstage that directs you to where everything is. Like they have multiple signs where it's like, all right, this office is here, this office is here, the locker room is here, the other locker room is here. Catering is this way. Production is this way. Gorilla is that way. That's one of my like favorite parts of it. Just I always know what direction things are in. Whereas once we start, because we're Ring of Honor for a long time, we were running very small venues. Then as we got bigger and bigger, there'd be a lot of times where we would be in these mazes of like buildings where we'd just be walking around like I don't know where anything is, and nothing's labeled, and I don't know where everything is. So that's the biggest thing I noticed, just in terms of the organization, and just in terms of getting you ready to go out for your match. Like they have a person dedicated to putting you on the stage, telling you when to go out, everything like that. They'll cue you down. That was way more organized. And also like just the process of just getting to the building, the pre-show emails and things like that. Not that Ring of Honor didn't have that, but just AEW, I find that they're very detailed and meticulous with their planning, which I like a lot. I'm a very detail oriented like person, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. And about new chapters, in November you will be in Rome for the Italian Wrestling Association. And
Mhm.
what do you expect from this new chapter and this new, yes, this new chapter in
Mhm.
your career and here in Italy, especially
Uh,
here in Italy?
I'm super excited because I've never been to Italy. That's been
Mhm.
wrestling
Okay.
internationally and going to as many different countries as I can has always been a goal of mine. So far, I've only been to outside the U.S., just Canada, Germany, and Japan. So this will be a new chapter, which I'm super excited for. I'm very unfamiliar with the Italian wrestling scene, so I'm excited to wrestle some new people, to meet some new people as well. I'm usually pretty good at like being very personable and like just meeting new people and kind of creating good relationships with everyone. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm doing hosting the tryout seminar as well. So I'm excited to teach some people as well, and show them what I teach my students here in America and like how I learn and just different techniques and things that I can pass on to that wrestling scene there to help improve that scene. So I'm super excited. I love traveling and it's going to be a really good time, I think.
Maybe discover some talents.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Why
yeah.
not?
I love that. Maybe someone like that's like really good, like an Italian wrestler that I come back and like tell the American promoters like, hey, like this person's like really good. Like you guys should look into him. Because it's cool to see too. Like the Italian scene, like I guess starting to kind of get a little recognition. I've seen Speedball Mike Bailey was putting over the Italian scene like on Twitter like a few days ago, and guys like Francisco Akira like going to New Japan, everything like that. So
Yes.
I think it's starting to grow.
Matteo, your turn.
Okay, now you are a coach for ROH, but do you like this kind of job or you prefer to fight in ring?
So I like coaching. So I was a coach for Ring of Honor for about like 4 or 5 years.
Mhm.
And I haven't been a coach for them for a bit until I opened my own wrestling school now. So I have the Worldwide Wrestling Dojo, which is kind of born out of the ashes of the old ROH Dojo after they shut it down and moved it to another state. So I like coaching a lot. It was something that I never expected to love so much. I never like had any aspirations of being a wrestling coach. It just kind of, again, a lot of things just kind of happen by accident, and I just kind of like fall into them. But I love coaching. I teach like 4 times a week at my school in the ring with all my students as well, and I really enjoy it. It's been my passion, and creating the Worldwide Wrestling Dojo has been probably one of the coolest parts of my career, even past
Mhm.
all the wrestling stuff, because I know like, maybe when I'm like retired or like just gone, like I will have some sort of remnants of my career and like my legacy will live on through messages I passed through my students and people I've taught at like seminars and things like that. So
Mhm.
I hope that I hope to end my career with kind of that as my legacy, being known as, hey, this person's like a really good trainer that helped out a lot of people.
And in past, you were a very great character, especially for charisma. So, which feeders is more important to you? Other charisma or athleticism or
Mhm,
technician or what you want? Which one?
mhm. It's hard to pick just one. I definitely think of the three, if I had to just pick one, charisma definitely would be the most important. And just being able to connect with an audience and being able to grasp an audience and get them invested into the performance.
Mhm.
I think charisma is one of those things that's universal where no matter what like language someone speaks or what country someone's in, or even if they've never seen like wrestling before, if you know like how to grasp an audience, no matter what crowd you're in front of, you can get them invested into your match. I think that's the key with wrestling more so than the moves. And I think knowing how to do the moves is super important as well. I think some
Mhm.
people actually underrate that part, but being able to pair that with connecting with the audience is what will make someone a really successful wrestler. And I think being able to grasp people, no matter if like what language they speak, where they're from, is the key to wrestling. And if you can do that, you can wrestle anywhere and be super over and be really successful.
Mhm. So you are a great talker, and how you do it, and do you have some hints to, I don't know, new talents for do the best?
For like interviews and things like that, what I always tell my students is you have to
Okay.
connect with people and talk to them like you're having a conversation. I think like now, like the days of like the kind of like pro wrestling like promo, where it's just kind of like guys just like yelling and like screaming into like a microphone. I think those are kind of like starting to get away from us, and people want to be talked to kind of like normal people, and they want to feel like an emotion. They want to feel. I think the key with with interviews and like promos and things like that
Mhm.
is to make someone feel something, whether it's like happiness, like sadness, like laughter, like anger, like any of those like emotions, like because people a lot of times may not remember like what you say, but they remember like how you made them feel. Yeah.
Okay, and this is a very strange question that I want to do it to you.
Mhm.